In this video, you will learn how to write a script which logs in into this form with a username and a password, just like I am doing. I'll give you the username and the password. Once the script logs in, then the script clicks on the home page here. So currently it's in automated.pythonanywhere.com dashboard and then clicks on the home page. And that's it. So filling the username and password data in the form, logging in and then doing something on the other page, which is clicking this button here. So again, let me log out. This is a home page now. So if we want to log in through a script, we want to give the script the URL where the login data should be entered. And I see that when I press that login button, the URL is this one in here. So automated.pythonanywhere.com/login/. And then the username here is, as I said, automated, and the password is automated. Or let me write it down here as well. So it's automated 2 times. No spaces, no dashes. Right. Let's go to our REPL now and write that script. I am going to fork the first REPL we created today. Login and click. So in this REPL now we have the getDriver function, which creates a WebDriver and it returns that WebDriver. But currently that WebDriver is pointing to this home page. We don't want the home page, we said we want this page. So the home page was this, we want this, and fill in this data. So I'm copying this URL and I'll paste it in here inside the quotes, like that. Then what we do is we get that driver through here. So from the main function definition, we call that getDriver method to get access to that driver, which is pointing to that URL. And then what we did previously was getting an element out of that driver, which was that text. Remember, there was some text here, this text. Now we're doing something else. We're accessing these two input boxes. So I'm going to right click here and go to inspect element. And now we could do something easier here. We don't have to look for the XPath. We could use a more robust method, which is whenever we have an ID in an element, you see this ID of input, which is equal to ID underscore username. Whenever an element has that, then we can use that because it's easier and it's more robust. So find element by ID value. It was ID username. And what do we want to do with this element? We want to send keys, which means what keys do we want to send? Automated. So what's happening here is that send keys expects to get keyboard keys as input. So it could be an enter key, for example, but it could also be letters and numbers and symbols. So in this case, we're entering the key A, the key U, the key T, O, M, etc. So these keys will be typed inside that username box. So let's see what this will do. And let's check. Before we run, we don't need to return the element this time. We're not scraping, we're performing some actions. And we don't even need a variable, so we don't need to assign that to a variable. Just leave it like that. Main is called here, so it should be fine to run it. Run. The browser opens and the script visits the login page. You saw that automated was typed in inside that username? Yeah, I hope you did. If not, try to go back a few seconds. So this was successful and we got none as output because this function returns none. So whenever you don't have a return keyword here which returns something, then implicitly Python will return a none object, which is fine in this case. So what is the next step? The next step is to do driver.find element boy, again ID with value. So this time should be the ID of the password. Let's see what it is. So that was the username. Let's right click here and inspect element. So it will take us to the input HTML element for password. So it's ID underscore password. Let's go here and say ID underscore password. Send keys. The password was automated. Like that. Let's try. Yep, so it was successful, but what I would suggest is to perhaps import time here and give it some time between the two operations, such as 2 seconds. So once the script enters the automated username, it waits for 2 seconds and then it enters the password. So what's next once we enter a username and a password? Usually what we do as humans is we press the enter key. So let's press the enter key once we enter the password. So the way we could do that is by saying here password plus keys dot return. What is keys? Keys is an object we need to import here from Selenium WebDriver.common.keys import keys, and return is one of those keys, which means the return, the enter key that you press and you log into a website. Let's try. Username, wait, password, and we are logged in. The window disappeared because there was nothing else performed after that. But if we want to make sure where we are after we log in, we could do something like driver.current URL. Current URL without parentheses. So it's a property, we don't have to call it, but we have to print that property to see the results here. So run again. And we see that the URL is /dashboard, so which is the URL that you get after you log in. So the login was successful, even though we don't see anything here. So what do we want to do next in that page, which is... So let me log in as a human. It's this page here. We said that we want to click over this home button, right? So we right click there, we go to inspect element. This is a home button. Does it have an ID? No. That means we need to work with the XPath. So right click, go to copy and XPath, and then driver.find element boy XPath. Value of that is what we copied, which is this one, and we want to click that. And perhaps print driver.current URL, like that. And I would prefer to give it some time sleep, after we log in, we stay a bit, like 2 seconds in the page, and then we click the home button here. Right. Run. And seems to be working. So we went to the home page, which is this one in here. So again, what happens is that after the login page, which is this one here, the script clicked on home and it went to the home page, which is this one in here. So the home page is slightly different than the home page you see when you are not logged in. So log out, this is a home page without the login, and it's slightly different. You see, we don't see the username here. When you log in and you enter as a user, you go to home and you see you have this automated username here. So that's the idea. I hope this is useful for you. This is the entire script. In the next videos, we're going to go even further and extract this value from this page after we have logged in. So see you.